Finally, a Benn has defeated an Eubank. Yesterday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Chris Eubank Jr. suffered a unanimous decision defeat to Conor Benn in a fight that many thought the weight and the rehydration clause did a great disservice to Chris Eubank Jr. But before I talk about it, please do me a favor by hitting the subscribe button, press the bell icon, express your views in the comment section, and share this particular video with anyone who do enjoy boxing. November 15th fight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It was a very interesting fight the first time around in April. Building up to this, there was no so much enthusiasm as the first fight sold the second one. Sometimes, as they say, the sequel doesn't have that much entertainment in it. So it wasn't surprising to me that the fight did not live up to the expectation of the first one. Chris Eubank Jr. was a ghost of himself, and people have attributed that to the weight or the rehydration clause that was included in the deal. The first fight, we realized that Chris Eubank Jr. missed weight and he was supposed to pay £500,000 to Conor Benn. This time around, he did not want to pay that huge sum of money, so he ended up making the weight. And in making the weight, you could see clearly that it has had effects on the body of Chris Eubank Jr. and he was looking like a shadow of himself. And you could see Chris Eubank Jr. was lagging in there. He was very hesitant. He did not have the energy in order to compete in the fight. Right from the get-go, Conor Benn started with his aggressive style, coming behind the jab, and started finding Chris Eubank Jr. Right up to the third round, Chris Eubank Jr. we thought that was reserving his energy for the later rounds, but he wasn't turning up, he wasn't sharp, he wasn't moving well. He was just lackadaisical in the fight, as if someone who was disinterested in something and was forced to be there in order to avoid some sort of punishment. So he was just lagging, he wasn't moving, he wasn't throwing his jab, he wasn't coming behind nothing. The uppercuts were not landing, nothing, absolutely nothing seems to have been going well for Chris Eubank Jr. in the fight. And I think right up to the sixth round, when Tony Bellew was interviewed, he even said that Chris Eubank Jr. is reserving his energy for the championship rounds, and the championship rounds came and Chris Eubank Jr. was no show. Conor Benn dominated this fight from first round to the 12th round, knocking Chris Eubank Jr. down in the later rounds. But the judge that had it 4 rounds to Chris Eubank Jr., I'm sorry, what was he on? What was he on? I think that he must be on a special kind of herbs that would make him see the fights that way. I think that the referee did an okay job. Everything about the fight was good. The undercuts were good. You could remember Eko Esuman versus what's his name? I forgot his name just right now. Eko Esuman suffered a devastating defeat in that particular undercut, and there were so many undercuts that were so exciting, but the main events did not live up to expectation, how we thought it would, how we all thought that it would be an open fireworks, with Chris Eubank Jr. downloading some data from Conor Benn and Conor Benn downloading some data from Chris Eubank Jr. I think that kudos to Conor Benn. It has been a well-deserved victory. He put in the works and he receives the W. Now, he said that he would be going back to the welterweight division. I doubt if Conor Benn can make it at the welterweight division. I doubt if he can make it at the welterweight division. I don't think that he can easily make the welterweight division 147 as at now, because he is much older. He's 29 years old now. He hasn't fought at the weight class for about 3-4 years, and he is going to fight champions who have been at the weight for some time now. A lot of people see Mario Barrios as the weakest link among the champions. We have Devin Haney also fighting Norma Jr. Next week in Riyadh, and I think that those are formidable champions that would give Conor Benn a lot of problem, especially the likes of Devin Haney. If he's able to secure the W and Devin Haney versus Conor Benn, that would be a tough axe task for Conor Benn, because Devin Haney is a very slick boxer. But all the same, Chris Eubank Jr. was also gracious in defeat. He gave Devin Haney his props, and I think that the beach has been quashed. It is 2-1 in favor of the Eubanks. So this is my take on the fight. Kindly subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, express your views in the comment section, and share so others